Welcome to Cuckoo for Who, a Doctor Who podcast. Season 10, Episode 8, The Lie of the Lamb.
Bill must convince the Doctor that humanity is in danger when the world is gripped by a mass delusion.
I'm your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And...
Rob Southgate.
Wow.
Okay, this was one of my favorite episodes.
Wow is the right word
of all time.
It was freaking hilarious, first of all. It was terrifying and sad and everything.
Yeah, it had that amazing regeneration scene.
Yes.
And Missy.
I
Missy
honestly
was
thought
so
that Bill
funny.
killed the Doctor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I knew that we're not at the end of the season, so I knew he wasn't over, but we did say last time there could be a false regeneration.
Yeah.
Only this was not when it happened with Tennant, it wasn't a false regeneration. It was one that started and stopped. This, he faked it.
Yeah. At first I thought it was the simulation.
I kept thinking it was
because it was his
was
hands
too.
And it was doing that thing like when Nardi stuck his hand.
I love when she's like, Nardal, you're back. And he's like, Nardi's home. And I was like, oh, I was so happy. He's like, well, I'm not human, so I could recover from that bacteria virus. I found that interesting.
Yeah, I still feel like they
he
left
said it would have killed him if
the
he had been
simulation
human.
hanging out there.
Yeah.
And even when it was showing the broadcast and things were crooked like that, I thought, okay, well, this is the simulation, and they've tapped into that. I think that's something they're dropping.
I think so, too.
Which is weird. I don't feel like there was a resolution to it. But this episode, the idea of these aliens coming and putting false memories and going way back. To make
through all of humanity.
Yeah, even though they've only been there, 6 months?
Yes.
That was an excellent idea.
They brainwashed them into thinking that they had done and had a hand in every... I mean, he was standing behind Einstein. I thought that was so funny. And they had the Doctor on a loop doing this whole truth thing.
Right.
I found that hilarious when he's like, it was also kind of scary when he was like, oh, trust in them.
Yeah.
They'll protect you.
And he was, I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something very profound.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Very intelligent.
Yeah. And
everybody listening, just a thing flashed up and said, truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Not really.
I loved...
go ahead.
I was saying I loved how Bill projected that. I honestly believed she was about to die. Mm-hmm. And I loved that it was her mom, and he's like, wait, yes, feed the world a pure memory.
Yeah.
Because they can't touch it. They couldn't corrupt it.
That was a really good throwback, too. Because when they showed her mom, immediately one of you went like, oh, that's her mom. Like, you knew immediately.
Probably me.
Yeah, probably you. That
probably
was
me.
I'm a genius.
But then when he said, it's that pure love, it's that what you remember, it's untouched by the monks.
Yeah.
That's what did it. I thought that was a really, really cool way to handle it.
Well, it was her imagination.
Right.
It was what she would do when she would sit and she would conjure up her mother sitting across from her at the table.
Right. And
or
it's
wherever
the monks
she was.
couldn't access.
Because it didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And which I find it interesting that they used imagination. So something untrue to bring to light the truth.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
So was that what your thought was?
Oh, yeah, I'm so smart.
Sure. We'll go with that.
I'm clearly as smart as you.
Yeah. I loved when they were like, she's like, wait, how come I didn't actually murder you with regeneration? And the Doctor's like, oh, we exchanged all of our bullets for blanks. The one security guard goes, and he's like, oh, whatever the guy's name was.
That would have been me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And he's
I was like, wait, we were supposed to change this.
Everything.
He's like, you could have killed us.
Bill. Yeah. Like that, oh my gosh, he's my soulmate, that guy. And I was like, oh wait, we were supposed to change our bullets out?
Well, and when they came into the room there and they found the Doctor in that room on the boat, what he said was so cruel. But then when you look back on it, you go, you know what? That was all part of it. Because if Bill had been infected mentally by the monks, that might have been the thing that shook her out of it. That was a real test.
Yeah.
Because he didn't believe
it. It was
that.
brilliant.
Yeah, he didn't believe that. But if you thought he believed it, it was completely cruel.
I'm very glad that he did not believe that.
Yeah.
Because if he had, at first I was like, everything's been a lie, and Peter Capaldi, his doctor, is evil, and the world
they could never do that.
And then,
so he was trapped there for 6 months. His clothes looked awfully terrible for 6 months of
Well, it was just, no, he looked great. It was just whatever that jacket was they put on him.
Well, it was his, yeah, it was like.
It wasn't his red jacket.
Oh,
no, they gave him, they must have put that jacket on him for the filming.
It was like gray.
Because
like
everything else was perfect underneath. Yeah. And then but it was not red. It wasn't his typical.
It wasn't his nice jacket.
And he didn't have his hoodie.
I wonder why he wore that.
Well, I would assume they put it on him.
Also,
there had to be a reason.
Well, sometimes they do things like that to make the person who's telling the lie more relatable.
Okay.
So if they don't want him all dressed up and fancy,
they had to have him
he's got to talk to the people, and he needs to be. There are going to be people who don't.
He could have worn that sparkly shirt he had.
Oh my god, I hated that shirt so much.
His sparkly shirt and his sunglasses.
Remember, he also has to change clothes every now and then, too.
What?
The doctor,
Why?
What?
People,
we don't.
Yeah, it's like...
We're supposed to change our clothes? I thought we'd go till they fall off.
Is this...
Or crawl away.
That shower conversation we had? Because I'm still not buying that.
Really, you gotta listen about that thing.
So I think Bill had a really big
I'm pretty
episode.
sure you're the filthiest one in the room right
Probably,
now.
but...
That's including cats.
What about... No, I think the cats are filthier.
So I think this was a really big episode for Bill.
Yeah.
I think that she got a lot to do.
Oh,
yeah. A lot of range.
I liked her hair.
So good.
And yeah, I mean, it was a real Bill episode.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a conversation about who your favorite companion is. I think she is in the running. I think that she really showed a lot here.
Yeah.
The fact that she stepped up, she was going to kill herself.
Yeah, she was willing to do that.
Gosh.
She was completely selfless.
Well, in both times, because even though he was upset, she did it.
The first time, yeah, she was like, I'm willing to take this risk.
But she did, and you know what? I don't know of any, there probably have been, but for me personally, she got under his skin so fast. They haven't been together all that long.
Yeah, you're right.
And
probably
and they have
year.
such a strong bond.
Yeah.
And
when he told her that she was 1 in 7 billion,
and he's like, "This is why." Well, that was so my X-Files thing.
Well, yeah, they definitely haven't done that many things together,
right?
Because with Matt Smith, with Clara, and with Amy Pond. They made reference to all these things they've done, even though we didn't see them. So we know that it was this ongoing thing. Here,
well, and he knew Amy since she was little Amelia. Right. So, of course, their bond would be different. But for just meeting...
and he made a reference to... Or the reference she used was from Thin Ice. Mm-hmm. And you go, okay, so it wasn't some obscure thing. Right. She was making a reference to one of the few adventures they've had. They haven't had that many.
I love that he was upset with her about their essay.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's like, she goes, well, wait a minute, what about free will? You always talk about free will. She goes, you even made me write a 3,000-word essay, and then it's like, yeah, you never turned it in.
Yeah, that part I was actually
you have an essay to write.
Yeah, 6 months overdue.
Yeah, I was actually thinking during that bit, I was like, this is so unlike him. I don't know what's happening. And I was like, wait.
Yeah.
That was definitely just the doctor.
Yeah.
And then I was like, then he snapped right back into it. I was like, wait, I don't know what happened. And then afterwards, I'm like, yeah, that was just him going, by the way, that is overdue. Exactly. And I need this.
Well, and I mean, also Peter Capaldi, his doctor here is so distinctly his doctor.
Now. Oh, yeah.
I mean, this was, when you think about what each of them has been, I think they nailed it by making him a professor.
Yeah, I agree.
He is the professor.
Because Matt Smith would not have been a professor.
Not like
David Tennant would not have been a professor. No. He would not have had the patience. Matt Smith would have bounced around and Matt Smith didn't have the attention span. Right. David Tennant wouldn't have had the patience.
No, he would have had too many co-ed girls chasing
That's just it. He would not have had he would have been there for any other reason other than teaching them anything. But this guy is absolutely a professor. But I want to say something though, back what we were talking about before, because one of the things that made me want to cry so hard was when she was about to go sacrifice herself and she was saying goodbye to the doctor and she looked at him and she said, it was all worth it.
Yes.
It was all, I wanted to die because that's why he loves her so much, because he says there aren't that many people who could do this sort of thing. And
she's just
even
all in.
Yeah.
Like even Amy and Clara, I love them so much, and they love the Doctor. I don't know if they would sacrifice themselves like that.
Not like this.
Not like Bill.
Bill was twice now.
Yeah.
In the span of 2 episodes, she's been like, I will sacrifice everything.
Yep.
Exactly.
I'll sacrifice humanity for it.
And how much do you love Nordy?
Nardy.
I mean, he's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
When he showed up at her place, and he's like, "Oh, it's me, Nardy." I mean, it's.
I love him.
Yeah, it's just like you're so happy to see.
And they make him sort of buffoony, but then he's like the smartest one. We all know he's like the smartest one in the room.
He's really smart.
And the Doctor said he's the only one who's capable of kicking my butt. You know,
I loved
but then he's sitting there knitting.
And he's
Did you catch that? He's sitting there with knitting needles while they're having this whole thing. He's just sitting there knitting.
Yeah, he's just a big goofball, and
He's
I love him.
Mom.
Oh, thank you, honey.
If you were a man and bald, you would be him.
Stop turning me on.
Okay, wow. Is it the glasses?
He doesn't wear glasses.
What? He wears those colored glasses.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
Are you watching the same show we're watching?
How could you say Nardy doesn't wear glasses?
Of course Nardy wears glasses.
So these monks, I mean, I don't think we're going to see them pass through here again, because if you think about it, they're kind of a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
This is how they do it.
And then they leave if they get overpowered.
But as a Doctor Who villain, they were excellent.
Oh, I love them.
You know, they reminded me, like they showed the Weeping Angels, and I'm like, yeah, they kind of fall into that category. Like, I think they're going to be a classic Who monster, even though I don't imagine they're going to be back unless they come back with like the Cybermen or something.
Well, it could just be that they find them in other places.
They had some like crazy powers too when they were like.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. How freaking cool. The lightning effect was exceptional.
Yeah.
And then that weird like shield they made when they shot at him. At first I thought, oh, it's like a CGI, you know.
Yeah.
But it was a thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is really cool.
And it looked like...
Cock?
Sorta. Yeah. Like almost...
Like that fat cock.
What?
It did.
Yeah, it did. Like the puffy cock. But I
was too busy processing what was happening, so I didn't notice any of it.
Was like little branches or something. I mean, it was interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. It wasn't like a solid...
No.
Thing.
It was very interesting.
That was cool, but I really loved how the lightning effect was, because it seemed like they'd shoot it out. It really did look like it was coming out of them.
Yeah.
But then it moved like slowly. You know, if you watch it, it didn't move in just like a boom. And it didn't look, a lot of times when you've seen an effect like that, it looks really fake.
Mm-hmm.
This looked, to me, very real. It looked more real than the superimposed monks in everybody's memories. Those all looked fake.
That was hilarious.
They all looked like bad Photoshop.
It was like the Forrest Gump.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but that looked better than this. But the lightning effect was really good. When they got into the pyramid, I was like, wow, the monster, the costuming, and then the effects were all really great. And that poor guy, when he got his recorder hit, I'm like,
yeah,
that stinks for that guy. He was really trying to help. And then Nardal does the pinch.
Yes.
Like, I can do it with this hand, but not with this hand.
And everyone's like, oh, what just happened? And he's like, oh, yes, I'm going to sit here and knit now.
Yeah, right. So, did we miss anything?
This episode was packed.
Missy.
Missy was so
she's repentant.
funny.
Like,
She's trying.
No, but at first, he's like, yeah, she's in here, you know, she's trying to be good. And her banter
well, I love what
with
she said.
Bill and
yeah. But I love what she said. I've done all these things. You think I couldn't get through a door? I'm trying.
Exactly.
She said she built a gun out of leaves.
Oh my god, that was awesome.
I love Missy.
Yeah, she was great. This was my favorite experience with Missy.
Oh,
probably.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't always loved Missy. Like, I haven't always connected with her.
Okay.
And this one, I could have sat in that room with her for days.
They really got the right balance of her relationship with him.
Yeah.
And this really, really played that well. And then at the end, when she's like, she is actually trying to repent.
Yeah.
And she was saying, I remember all of
the names of everyone I killed.
Yeah.
And she's like, I didn't even remember I knew their names.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, this is what you go through.
But what she also said to him, though, which I really loved, she said, your version of good doesn't mean that's the only version of good. Like, was essentially what she was saying.
Right.
And she said, yours is narcissistic and, it's ego. Yeah. And all these other things. And she was like, I don't need to be your definition of good in order to still be good.
Right.
Yeah.
And I really loved that. And I think that's important for most people to realize, is that everybody has their
own version.
Their own version.
From their perspective, what it is. But I really like what they're doing with the character, because, once again, in a lot of, especially shows like this that are ongoing, if they take a character who is a villain and the character becomes popular, a lot of times they'll try to repent that character, give them some type of redemption.
Redeem, you mean? Yeah.
And here...
You can't repent a
No,
character.
you can redeem them. And here, it's not that she's getting redemption.
She's just...
But she is.
She was never even like certain times she was really bad.
No,
but
she's
other
killed
times,
tons of people. She's
but I'm
evil.
saying other times she's worked with the Doctor and been the big bad of the season and helped him at the same time.
Yeah, but she's got a screw loose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I think what's going on here is they're trying to fix that, but she's not going to be a good guy.
Right.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be a troubled hero.
Right.
Which is okay. I could take that. Once again, I said last time, I could take the adventures of Missy. I could take them.
Yeah.
Especially if you do this to her, where she's kind of on that border of, is she going to do something horrible? Or is she's trying to do what she thinks is right? I like that idea.
All I want to see is her make a gun out of leaves. I'm very excited about this.
You know she can do it, too.
Yeah, she's just crazy enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I really enjoyed this episode.
I loved it.
Top to bottom.
Yep.
Oh, Missy, actually, I just remembered something I wanted to bring up. Missy called Nardal a egg-shape.
Egg-shape?
What did she? She's like,
that bald egg-shaped man? Egg-shaped fella or something, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, it's the bald egg-shaped man here to see me again.
That's
oh my gosh.
awesome.
She's like, you haven't been here in 6 months to see me. And she's like,
it's like I was
you just send in that
boat for 6
bald
months.
egg-shaped man.
Yeah.
So funny.
So anyone have anything else? Or are we ready to go on to that next episode?
I just thought this was incredible.
I did too. I cannot wait. I told you, I heard that this season, as it goes on, after we get past that one, there was the one episode that we didn't really love, that it just keeps getting better.
This has been a blast.
Better. And this was incredible.
I have loved this season so far. Yeah.
So, all right, let's end it. You can follow us on social media. Look up Cuckoo for Who, or look up Cuckoo, the number 4 Who on Twitter. Find us on Facebook. Find us on our website, southgatemediagroup.com. We have a couple of events coming up in the next couple of weeks. You can find those right there. And if you miss them, you can find links to be able to listen to those podcast marathons and maybe watch a little video from them too. You can send us an email at southgatemediagroup@gmail.com. And check out Molly's new podcast, Between the Lines.
Read between the lines.
Read between the lines, yes. First episode is already up. Second episode will be up by the time this airs. First episode was about Lock and Key, which was a lot of fun. And you guys did the second episode. What's that about?
Holy Cow by David Duchovny.
Yeah, Holy Cow by David Duchovny. So it's a great show. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
I was listening to it today and really, truly enjoyed it, Molly.
Thank you very much, Dad.
So definitely follow that. Please subscribe. Please rate and review us on iTunes. If you don't know how to do that, it's super easy. When you're listening to the show, a thing pops up, says, would you like to rate this show? Click yes. Even if it's not 5 stars, we learn from it. But if you really like the show, 5 stars really helps. And if you write a review, it helps us even more. The more we get that, the more we're going to pop up as a top show on iTunes, which would be awesome. It just means more people will listen. That's it. We're done?
Yep, I think we are.
Until next time.
Elonze!